reminds us that we have so little control in life, but we do have control over some things. And we ask, oh God, that the things we have control over tonight, our city council, our mayor will make decisions that are best for our community, and that we will be stronger because of their discernment. This we pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In your packet, you will have the minutes of the last meeting, and we need to approve all those.
Motion.
Second.
First and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? All approved. Committee reports. Chamber. Not here. Finance.
Not here.
Not here. And fire.
Nothing at this time, we do need to close the meeting there.
Okay. And then human resources
Nothing for the public at this time.
and police. Right on? Yeah,
You may.
police.
Please?
Oh, you may.
You may.
Either one.
Wait, you forgot your name.
Go ahead. Nothing for the police at this time.
Um,
And then, okay, you may.
The Humane Department will be attending an animal control officer continuing education this November 6th, which is a Wednesday from 9:30 to 3. Tina Pettix and Kayla Gazelle and I will definitely be attending, and possibly Barry Tate and Marco Parr. It's just teaching things that have happened, new things that have happened, and then just reinforcing what they already know. And it's given by the Missouri State Department of Ag.
All right.
And it's free.
Hey,
That's good.
free's always good. All right, street.
No, we have a meeting this next Tuesday. Looks like with the committee assignments that I won't be involved in the street department again, so I would like to say that I think the guys are doing a fine job. I'd like to see their position filled as it is right now, with them to continue in these positions permanently. I was gonna say that for closed meeting, but I guess it needs to be said publicly. I think I'd like to see things continue on, like I said, the way it is with these guys. They're doing fine. That's all I've got to say.
And then storm.
No, nothing at this time. We're gonna have a meeting after, short meeting before the next,
Tuesday.
yeah.
All right, fire department reports.
Mayor, council members, first of all, I'd like to thank our fire committee. We had an extensive, long fire committee meeting last night, so Mr. Hunter, Mr. Collier, Mr. Wayne, Mayor, Brenda, thank you all for your attendance last night. What I have tonight is going to be kind of short. As far as the past couple of weeks and events going on, it's been a fairly slow time for us, and that is a good thing with the hot weather. Most extensive thing we've had, we did have a fertilizer truck fire yesterday out of town, and the past couple of weeks we did have a bad incident that we did have one CPR event that was not successful. So that's been the most significant thing going on within our fire department for the past couple of weeks. Cleanup still continues on our fire stations. We're about to wrap up Station 3, and then we will move to Station 1. We're going to be doing a little bit of in-house remodeling. Don't panic, Finance Committee. We're not going to be spending a lot of money. Just panic.
As
So,
long as that's in your budget.
and it's in the budget.
There you go.
James alluded to, we do have a request for a closed council meeting to discuss some personnel matters. However, before the council, I would like to raise up to tonight authorization to post promotions within our department for captains and lieutenants. These are existing positions that are not filled at this time and will not reflect the money that's there for salaries. It's going to come out of that, and will not result in any extra appropriation of funding or anything of that nature. So I need to bring that before the council that yes, it's okay to take in resumes for the next 2 weeks.
Yes. Motion.
Second.
Yeah, second.
All in favor?
In the way of property maintenance and so forth, Assistant Chief Davis and myself were in Soxton today doing some inspector training, and we're working with the state on our upcoming inspector class, but we also were talking with the code enforcement folks there as well about some of the different things that they do in the way of issuing citations and so forth. Come to find out, I was informed earlier that they were in the business of writing tickets. And apparently that was not the case. But again, we're looking right now, we've been working with Terry, with Donnie and Victor, Lance and myself, about coming up with some different ways to deal with the current issues we have right now with property maintenance. So,
I got a question on property maintenance. What about businesses? Businesses that's open?
well, we've had some recent discussion with that. As far as the businesses and state right-of-ways, we would hope that most businesses would want to take it into their own personal
Yeah.
heart to do it. We've had some businesses that mow, some don't. And there have been some businesses that are kind of unhappy with the fact that, why is the city mowers out mowing my neighbor's property when I take care of mine?
It doesn't.
So, yeah, that remains to be an issue.
So do the regulations, are they the same for businesses as far as residentials, as far as weeds and grass and trash?
Yes, they are, very much so.
So there's lots of businesses, especially like down Independence Street,
Yes,
that I think that have,
yes,
we need to go see them.
right.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask about the businesses.
You wanna?
New business.
All right, okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you may.
Tina's not here tonight. She's called, and I think you talked to her too. She's extremely busy, so we know they're doing their jobs. I think she was at Dr. Motley's office last time I talked to her. It's been a very busy week, 2 weeks for them. I know they're, just to tell you how, they had one call that we could get, how we could get in harm's way, and they had a call last Tuesday, I think, of a man yielding a gun when they arrived. And of course, they did the right thing, they retreated and called Chief Wilson and got a hold of the police department, and they responded and took care of the problem. But that just goes to show you that any of us, not just police officers, but you just simply humane officers, can be subject to getting called of people with guns these days. Nothing surprises me though. We did have, that's the same Tuesday, we had over $600. I'd like to, I've already thanked them. I'll thank them in person or public. Ken Moag donated over $600 worth of food, dog food. And I'd like to thank them for that. I'm sure Tina will probably send them thanks also. And also I found out today also Walmart has made a donation of several bags of dog food. So I don't know exactly how many. And Roosters, I don't know who Roosters is, but it's apparently a business that also donated too, but I don't know
Polka
who
dot
Roosters
rooster.
is. Huh?
Polka dot rooster.
No, I don't. Well, she didn't say. She said roosters, so I never heard of it. So.
Thank you, the rooster.
But anyway, yeah.
Big one
Thanks
standing
for
on
them.
the
That's really all I have. I think the Humane Department's staying busy, and the new person they hired to work outside is doing a fine job, and they're training new others, and I know the overtime is cut down tremendously, and I think that's what we're trying to achieve by that. So
The lights are doing good?
The lights are good, the radio, they found out the radio in the van is just totally out of date. And I think, I understand that Chief Wilson come up with one that they're gonna,
Good.
We had some extra ones, so right now we're not using them. Maybe down the road, if we need it later on, we'll work out something
Yeah,
to
we'll
get
get
it
them
replaced.
replaced,
But
if we got one laying around,
yeah, but they was delivered down there today for them to put in the van.
good deal.
so, everything's going pretty good. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. All right, police.
Okay, just a couple things real quick. Talked to the police committee a while ago, discussed removing the radio link at Fire Station 1. You remember a couple meetings ago, I brought this up, we may use this, we may need to spend the money. Things got to that point where we need to do it. It's gonna be about $1,510 to make the needed repairs. To move the link from Station 2 back to the admin building. We'll be eliminating 2 radios from that down to 1. And the radios are at the link, as I told you before, they're old and they can't even be repaired anymore. So, can I be money ahead if we just go ahead and do this now?
Do we need to vote on that 1,500? The committee approved it. That's it.
Was it budgeted?
No.
It's not budgeted, it needs to be voted.
I make a motion, to say 1,510.
We can take the money out of our radio repairs and out of the 911 budget. We'll have enough, more than enough there to cover the cost, so the money's there.
Is this gonna fix it?
Smith and Company out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, I believe is where they're at.
They say that this is gonna fix it?
They think it'll fix it.
Have they
This-
won a bet
With the
$15?
digital system, it's a nightmare. Yeah, with the digital system, it's a nightmare. A lot of them have digital systems have this problem of the radio's digitizing. I don't
Can
know
we
what-
wait and pay them and see if it fixes it? And then if it don't, tell them we don't want it?
That's a Terry question.
That's what another meeting, I guess.
All right, we got a motion and a second on the floor to approve it. All in favor?
Alright. Okay, next, last night, the mayor came up, we had our open meeting with potential candidates to go to the academy. Right now, we've got about 14 individuals that are committed to test. I'm hoping that number will grow between now and the time we do the test. Outlined to the committee what we're gonna be doing, trying to raise our standards a little bit about maybe the type of people we hire and who we have come to work for us. I'm looking forward to it, kind of see how this plays out. Hopefully, middle of the end of September, we'll start the first round of testing. So, kind of excited about that part. Other than that, everything else I have is for the closed session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. We don't have a whole lot. As Mr. Palmer said, we're gonna have a meeting Tuesday, and we'll probably have a little bit more after that. Just a little update on some of the stuff that was on your thing there for the council report. Knuckle Brothers is expected to be finished this week on, they're working on the last 4 right now, down by Napa. And then they will be finished up with our concrete for this year. And 5th Street, Sea Light Water is supposed to start tomorrow, weather permitting, so they might not be, if it rains a whole lot tonight, but they're gonna try to get started this week and hopefully within a couple months have that done down there. A lot's gonna depend on the weather. We've got a lot more rain this year than normal, so kind of put everybody behind on that. But other than that, if y'all have no questions, that's all I've got.
You answered my question.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, new minutes. We don't have any unfinished business, do we? All right, new business, in your packet, you received the CLGW board meeting minutes. We need a motion and a second to approve those.
Motion?
All in favor? All right, there's also the CLGW's July expenses. Those are in your packet. Any motion and a second?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and then we also have the airport board meeting minutes from their July meeting. And so we need a motion Motion and a second.
Second.
Along with that, we have some open spots on the airport board. And speaking with Darren Harris and the board, we picked out Don Collins to stay on there and James Finch. That are already on there, so they're gonna be, staying in their seats, so I need a motion and a second on those. All right, second. And then we have a new one on Mr. Ray, Larry Ray. That came highly recommended from them. Larry Ray to be appointed to the board, and his term will expire in 2023.
Motion. Second.
All approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Next. All right, I'll read off the city order, okay. Did everybody receive the ordinance this afternoon for the email for the
Golf cart?
golf cart, 49cc scooters, side-by-sides, everything.
Everything's not already covered.
Yeah. And does anybody have any questions with it? I know there were several. I pulled off one from Rector and took some of it. I'm sure some of the others have all done the same thing. And so he has the ordinance on that.
First reading, ordinance amending Title III, Chapters 300, 340, and 385 of the Municipal Code of the City of Kennet, Missouri, regulating the use of golf carts and utility vehicles within the city of Kennet, and to require permits for the use of golf carts, all-terrain vehicles, and utility vehicles.
Motion.
All in favor?
Second reading is an ordinance amending Title III, Chapters 300, 340, and 385 of the Municipal Code of the City of Kennet, Missouri, regulating the use of golf carts and utility vehicles within the city of Kennet, and to require permits for the use of golf carts, all-terrain vehicles, and utility vehicles.
Motion.
All right, this one's roll call. Roll call?
Aye. Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes. We got the ethics ordinance.
Okay.
When will that go into effect?
Now.
Right now? Should have my golf cart.
Yeah. Well, you probably didn't get your $35 city sticker for that yet.
Okay, where will that be able to be purchased?
Clerk's office.
Clerk's office. Do we have any city stickers? All right, we're in order. So we're not ready, but if you show them the receipt and come back and get it, or?
I was gonna ask, do we get an IOU on that? Because when people find out about this, people will be here tomorrow.
Yeah,
Well, insurance and everything else too.
yeah, you're gonna have to bring,
You think an insurance company in the city of Kennet's gonna hesitate to sell you a policy?
No,
But I think people are gonna hesitate to pay it.
they're gonna
Ain't
be
cheap.
more than happy to,
I
make
think
a little
they
money. But, we'll get the, ordinance posted so everybody can read it.
Okay, are we requiring driver's license and insurance?
Yes.
Whole nine yards,
Yes.
they still have to be a Bible licensed driver?
It's gonna be just like.
That needs to be, make sure that we don't catch 14, 15-year-old kids running down the street.
Well, I mean,
Kids
it's
in the green
illegal
light.
now.
Yeah.
I do have a question on that ordinance. Independence, is that a city street?
No, it's state highway.
Can you cross it?
Depends on what the speed limit is, and where it is. If it's 40, you can't. If it's under 40, you can.
We'll make a motion to change the speed limit.
That's the state law.
My golf cart.
Yeah, I mean, that's state law, that's the speed.
I thought I said over 40. Well, Nick, Mark.
I go up and down.
I wouldn't worry about it. More about that.
cross that bridge when we get
That's
there.
one less one.
That's about Independence Day, it's 35, and that's up to McDonald's.
Okay.
It might say over.
I was sure.
I'll look.
Oh, okay.
Terry,
Yes,
let's talk about motorized wheelchairs.
there's pedestrians,
Mhm.
they're pedestrians.
So they can pedestrian down the
They're-
street.
The only place a pedestrian cannot be is
And they
on
can pull
the
it
state
out.
highway, including an exit.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, yeah, we got a picture in the St. Louis Post, or not Post, the Washington Post,
Oh.
of somebody in a
Yeah,
wheelchair, pulling a wheelchair.
Yes.
yeah.
Careful, that's how
The
much.
the article
there,
was
look
about
at those
Pop
stickers.
Bluff, Pop Bluff Hospital, but one of the pictures was from Kennett, it's a motorized wheelchair pulling a person in a motorized
That's right.
wheelchair.
That happens quite a lot.
Those are actually
That was
supposed to
in
be
the
used for activities
that was
that
in the
they live
Washington
inside the
Post.
home.
As the brochure says.
The Washington Post. All right, so any other questions?
No, sir.
Nope.
Good.
All right, so it'll be posted, so it's, anybody that'd like to come and read it or pull it up, we can, we'll get that happening over the next week. All right, the next thing we have is to, re-adopt the ordinance disclosing potential conflicts of interest in city officials.
Same ordinance we passed last year, the year before, and for 10 or 12 years before that. An ordinance of the city of Kennett, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain officials. Basically what this does, it relieves city council members of having to file detailed finance reports with the State Ethics Commission. By passing this ordinance, you all don't have to file financial reports.
Motion. Second.
Well, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second reading, an ordinance of the city of Kennett, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain officials.
Motion.
Okay, roll call, we'll start with this one this time.
Yes.
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 Aye.
Yes. Aye.
Okay, all in favor? All right, mayor's report, within there,
Yeah.
You got something? Yeah, before we go to the report, I got a couple calls this last week, and just driving around, we've all talked about the the
Grants.
grass. Yeah, grass, I have it real big here.
That word.
Yeah. What, we're trying to figure out a way to get it under control.
Roundup.
Well, nobody wants.
No one wants that?
That's gross. I mean, honestly, I don't think that's gonna look any better, a bunch of brown.
I mean, I've tried for years to get community service people to pick up trash and mow and stuff, and that ain't gonna happen.
Well, we need to find the disconnect from, they can't go out and write a ticket or say anything until it's 11 inches tall. By the time it makes it all the way around, it's 24 inches tall. And then by the time they cut it, it's 36 inches tall. And it's all, they don't get in trouble. They get a ticket, they come up here, nothing's done, except they pay a $35 court cost, and they go on about the business. How do we enforce this ordinance and rule? It's terrible. How do we enforce it?
Does it need to be changed? What's the,
I don't know, and that's a Terry question really, I guess, but I don't know.
I think on grass, and something I was supposed to talk to Paul about, is that there's a quicker procedure on grass that would allow the city to mow and put the cost of the mowing, make it a lien on the property. That's one way to get the grass down.
There's no way you can just send them a bill? Say if it's a land,
Well, you send them a bill, but
Land.
you send them a bill, pay it, but then it's also a lien against the property. I mean, it's a debt they owe, and if they don't pay, it's a lien against the property.
Cause the majority of, properties that people called me about and I went by and looked and found out, they're rentals.
See, most of mine's not the rentals.
Well, the majority of the ones that I've called, that people have called me about. And I'm not trying to,
No, I don't.
my own mother's a landlord.
Uh,
But
When we charge whenever, if we go in and mow and charge the property, of course, that's charged to the landlord. If it's a property maintenance code violation, just trashing the property, and we charge both the tenant and the landlord.
So the grass is just to the person on the deed.
Yeah, we can do that if we go through the quick procedures, 7-day procedure. We can, it's a lien against the property, and of course, it's dead owed by the landlord. If it's a code violation, property maintenance code violation, we charge both the landlord and the tenant.
Just out of curiosity, what's the average fine for that?
That's what I was
I don't,
the fee.
Just the ballpark.
I really, I'd say,
To be determined.
Well, I can tell you.
I'll tell you, most of them, I'm gonna tell you, that most of them, if they get it cleaned up, $32.50 court costs.
If they do not.
If they do not, then it's, he can charge up to, I think, property maintenance, the new statute is, the cap is $225.
So if we go out and mow it, the most you can charge them is $225.
Yeah, well, if we go out and mow it, we charge what it costs to mow.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that, it,
220.
no, we're not talking about, that's not with charging anything in city court. That's going out and mowing it and putting the cost of mowing, as a lien against the property. And we did that quite a bit. This is back when Roger Wheeler was the code enforcement officer, and then we calculated we were charging about $150. I think now probably the cost would be more, because that's been several years ago.
200.
Yeah.
Well,
So can we hire some more mowing crew people?
That's what I was gonna say.
start doing it.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, we're not actually getting this money in. I'm assuming most of these properties we're putting liens on because they don't want to pay to start with.
Right. Well, I mean.
Yeah, but somebody owns that property.
It's just like.
Yes, no, I agree 100%, but when you can have a lien put against your property versus pay it, and you don't plan on doing anything with it, then it's really not much of a punishment.
It's the same thing as tearing his house down.
Yeah.
I mean, But,
Yeah.
you're
I mean,
right.
it's, with those situations, it's a way of having a chance to get something back, but it also cleans up the property.
Right.
And the goal is to clean up the property.
Yes, make no mistake, but like I said, you have some landlords here,
For people.
they're elderly. They have no really way of doing this. For them, a lien on the property isn't that big of a deal.
You're right, but also giving them a ticket isn't that big a deal either. I mean,
No, I agree. I agree, and I think that is where the system needs to be.
And that lien only gets paid if they sell the property. Right.
yeah,
That was the problem at the time.
now we can,
Yeah.
we can probably do some things to, put collection efforts out, because it is a debt over the city. Have to look at that and question the efficiency of that as to whether or not, what you recover is gonna be worth the expense. It's one of those things, when you're in those situations with, landowners that, well, I won't say don't care, but can't afford to care. You're not going to, the realization of the reality of it is you're probably not going to collect what it costs. but the goal is to clean up the property,
Yes.
make the city look better.
Yeah. Didn't we run into this a few years ago where we tried to clean up some derelict properties? We found out that there was as much trash and debris down in the grass and weeds and stuff that
Yes.
was prohibited going through there with a mower.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sure.
I mean, and that, you're gonna have that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Total
there's,
cost to clean that.
there's no system that's gonna fix all the ailments. You just gotta do, you gotta fix the most you can.
At what point can we, did you say in that we can take action on it however we choose? I mean, how high does it have?
7 inches.
Yeah,
7?
10 inches. I know you told me the other day.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's 7.
It's not much, it's not that
That's
much.
really
That's
Well,
quite a
there is,
bit.
it can be lower
It's
than
already
that.
went to seed.
Yeah.
Different cities, from
We
talking
can make
to
it,
the
we
other
can
one.
get them lower than that.
Yeah, lower than that.
Yeah, but like we were talking about, it's 10, then by the time it all goes through and they're in court, it's.
Well, that's
30
why,
inches.
that's why there's a 7-day procedure.
So we can start doing the 7-day procedure. And if they don't do it, we can go mow it on the 8th day.
Yeah, we already have the ordinance for that. And I was gonna talk to Paul about that after the last meeting, and we just never got together.
We just don't have the power to do it. I mean, you don't have enough guys to go.
No, we don't have the budget. We discussed this when we were in finance committee, that we were cutting back on our budget. It was brought before the council that we can shorten some of our budget, and we elected to do away with one of the mow crew. So now we're kind of being asked to out mow more with less,
So we
so.
got, well, wouldn't this fall under beautification? Don't have money in beautification? I mean, they got money to tear down 50 houses.
If you'll give me $250,000 in my budget, I'll take care of you.
250,000, I'll go mow myself.
They have his own mow crew.
Yeah, on mowing crew and no more.
72-inch bad boys, baby.
Yes, sir.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
We've done this before, and the problem I run into on abatement of the properties, and we have, right now, we've got a $150 administration fee that can be added onto it. The problem that I run into, when we done it before, it was before we had the mow crew and all that, but I would have to take bids to get the properties. Well, by the time they go look at them, they may charge $4,000. Well, then the city was out the $4,000 to pay them, and it went on a lien on the property. You know,
don't get
so
it back.
we don't get it back. So the more that it costs to do it, the more we're out. So, and we do write the abatement letters. We do have a 7-day abatement letter, and the mow crew takes care of it as they can. But we'll do them all that way if you want.
So what about like, say, like the Emerson building, where we mow, the mow crew mows down the bypass, most of it or whatever, then you got the Emerson building and it's just all grown up.
If you go down commercial, it's.
And like I said, I mean, most of the places that I'm concerned about are the businesses, because that's where I get the most phone calls. When I get a residential, I'll call one of y'all and usually it's taken care of. And
Something about some of the business ones, if they abut a state right away, we've had the discussion before, I don't know that we can legally make someone take care of a state right away.
So like the business that's out there next door to Stan Moore's Construction, used to be like RC Hobbies or whatever, their ditch, that's 6-foot tall weeds, that's not on them, that's on the state.
It is a straight
If it's
state
in
right away.
That's kinda odd, because it's,
If it's in the front.
MoDOT is a quarter mile away.
But who owns the property though? That's, I mean, you know, like we was talking about, in front of my house, I live in Fort Swift.
Yeah, the sidewalk across the street looks terrible.
Not anymore, sir.
No, the country club one.
Oh, well.
Yeah, not on your side, across the street, across the road.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Victor.
I done lost my train of thought.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
I haven't noticed it.
It'll touch your mirror if
I mean,
you're
we're
in the
spending
right
$1 million
hand
on other end of town for sidewalks, and got 2-foot tall weeds around the telephone pole in front of the mayor's
Now,
business.
they went knock them down, because actually, when I was driving in, I looked at my sidewalk right there, and it actually looked like
No, yours is fine, but this one that's on the side of the country club looks terrible. I mean, you could roll a wheelchair down that if you would try it. I bring you one, you would try it.
Yes.
Wheelchairs don't get up there.
Well, but I mean, they're spending $1 million on one end of town for sidewalks, and the other end of town looks terrible. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah. I don't know, we gotta do something. The current process isn't working. And that's, we gotta do something. Because, well, in Baker Edition, I went to a friend's house. It was covered in water. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And there's one that's that high, and it's almost covering the sign that says what lawn care took care of it.
Oh, yeah, I seen that
But that's
too. I don't know, long story short, I'm trying to call the person out, but we gotta do something.
It's okay.
Can I get mad? You know I get mad.
Don't get mad no more.
Okay. I don't know. So anyway, 7-day deal, we're gonna talk about that. Figure it out. See what works. Drop a bomb, figure it out.
So, can the finance committee work something out and try to move some money and hire a couple more remote people or something?
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't that fall under beautification?
Fall underneath something.
I mean, I would think so.
Yeah.
We can call it whatever you want, we just need some people with lawnmowers and weed eaters.
Yes, we do have one more. Yes, we do.
An industrial weed eater would take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, a couple people walking down Independence with weed eaters would be good to go.
Industrial weed eaters?
We have heavy duty ones.
Yeah, that's, yeah, he does, he does.
We are using, we're not necessarily using industrial mowers. We'll share with you that. However, what we're using right now is sufficient. Yeah, given next year, we may have to start looking at some more placements. But possibility if the city wants to keep doing this with Mow Crew, then yeah, we may want to invest in a little bit better equipment. Side mowers or something of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating to see people talking on Facebook all the time about how bad it looks for grass.
Who mowed Pedro's Tacos?
I don't know what it's at.
Pedro.
Oh, yeah.
I smell better on it.
Yeah, I noticed it got mowed today. Yeah, it's mowed today. Because I was gonna bring it up tonight.
Good.
But it is mowed today. I just thought maybe we mowed it or the state or.
I just hope we're all in agreement, we gotta do something. I took up enough time.
How much money is in the beautification project? There's citywide cleanup or whatever, because that's part of the cleanup. Because I talked to Steve, well, we talked about putting an extra $100,000 in, tearing down all the houses. So maybe we can not put $100,000 in tearing down houses, just put an extra 50 in there and 50 to.
50 grand carry out a lot of houses.
I mean,
50 grand also cut a lot of grass, so we may not do that.
Yeah.
We got a lot of grass to cut.
Yeah, that's right.
We've got a lot of grass. It's gonna have some more. All right, one other thing under new business is we still have merchants that do not have their merchant licenses for the year 2020. And I'm sorry if I boogered the name up here. Shari Ganesh, basically Days Inn. Then we also have John Murphy at Farmhand Supply. And all these people have been contacted multiple times. And then we have James Powell. Our last contact was on the 16th with them. And then Ronnie Williams. And so Miss Brenda and her office has been sending out a couple letters, a couple phone calls, and just come in, the business licenses cost nothing.
Zero.
You
Yeah,
just
so,
have to show insurance.
yeah, just show your insurance and merchant's license, no tax due.
No tax due, that's
And,
the no tax due.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's this is something that, will be brought up again in the future. Hopefully there's just 4 of them that they know of, so that's gonna be something for in the near future to just bring it up. It doesn't cost anything for a C license.
Well, I will bring up that on one of those, been ticketing them pretty much daily, so they're gonna be in city court starting next week, I guess.
Okay.
Do all four of them that way?
Hmm?
Do all four of them that way?
We'll talk about it, I think, we'll see if the others can, a couple of them looks like we're gonna get in line. Maybe one of the others, we may have to do that, but let's look at it.
All right. Probably the last meeting, I've not done the committee assignments yet. We have those with you.
Got one question about the building code committee.
Mm-hmm.
That in and of itself falls under the fire.
Okay.
That's a whole lot of people on the committee.
Yeah, it's,
We're in a big room.
well,
Not all those people's gonna agree.
no. So,
Use a subcommittee of fire.
subcommittee underneath the fire. I mean, it's easy to
Well,
do.
code and property maintenance is under fire.
Okay.
Because Paul's over both of them.
Okay. So we'll move that one, just scratch that one then.
Yes, sir. That would be my suggestion.
So,
Good going.
so. Need a motion and
Motion.
a second?
Or
The committee.
as written, with the exception of.
All as they're written?
Yeah, as written except for the.
Oh, we're not
building
talking about
code.
that.
Yep.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There we go. All right. This last thing under new would be, we all have our vector. Is that going to, what's that public announcement, or is that under new business? Okay. He's not here, is he? All right, so, you all have your booklet on Victor, Vector, and,
We don't want to book on Victor.
But he could drive one.
please read. And if you have any questions the next time he's here, we're more than happy to answer.
We'll have about this many.
Hopefully at the next meeting. We can find out and send out an email, find out when he'll be here.
He was intending to be here tonight, but then there were 3 different towns in council meetings tonight. And he couldn't, they were all far apart. So he.
They're all rapping.
They're all breathing. They're rapping.
Well, 15-foot
Does
tall
the
grass.
contract stipulate how many times
Oh, good.
fly?
Yes, it's all about money. It's all,
Yeah, I knew that.
it's, what, 4
About
times,
weekly,
5 times?
I think it's weekly, he's flying.
No, not flying.
Not
No.
flying.
We only get so many
There's no
flies
way.
with the contract.
Right. And he said we're about to the end of the treatment, and we be charged for people.
Well, can we renegotiate so that they don't drive around and basically spray
Sure.
somewhat uselessly in certain weather conditions? And move more of that into flight? Pick up another flight for
Yeah,
2?
I agree. What is it, $6,000 or $7,000 a flight?
That's what he said.
And the flying does seem to be, do a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, it gets in the backyard, it gets everywhere. I mean, what is the acreage that they do? I just saw it. Yeah, well, I meant the entire town is 1,732, well, that ain't even the whole town. How many acres is King? Somebody should know that here.
You're on the council.
You're on the
Yeah, you got the paperwork there in front of you.
14,476.
All right.
I'll have to look that up. Oops. All right. But yeah, it's pretty cheap for what they do. First way. Crop dusting is cheap.
Not $7 an acre.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
So, all right, under the mayor's report, I know I've talked with Terry a little bit about this in the past, but it's something I'd like to go ahead and get forward, mainly because looking at some of the questions that Mr. Parr here has brought up within there is the landlord, renter, and property management. People that I'd like to see on this are landlords, people that are, currently renting, and then property owners that are buy rental property. All this plus, Paul and Victor, looking at the codes that are on the books, how do we get renters within there? Last time Terry and I talked about this, that their Poplar Bluff, within the past couple of years, has instated a group like this. That right now under landlords, and this is not set in stone or anything, but I've talked with Scott Hunter since he's on the council to be on there. He's also a landlord. Matt Gardner, Dustin Pritchett, Randy Hanfley. Renters only have one person so far. I don't know a lot of renters. So if anybody has somebody that would like to sit on a committee that rents, so you get the understanding from the people that are renting. Have Latasha Taylor. Property owners, Darlene Hinchcliffe has asked to be on there. And with the comments that you brought up tonight, Mr. Marco, would you like to be on there?
Yeah, we'll just add that to number
Yeah, just made it down number 6. Well, this one here should only be just for a little while. Once you guys go through with Victor and all, you just try and figure out, if the grass is tall, are you gonna find the property owner, are you gonna do this? If the trash is out there, are you gonna go after the landowner, or are you gonna have to go to the property renter? All those different little aspects that are there, you guys hash it out and, come back with a consensus. And that's what's going on up there in Poplar Bluff. And let's bring it down here and start doing it down here as well. And making sure that, trying to get things, one thing I would like to see out of it, is, if you are a landlord, I do know it is hard to get somebody out of your apartment or your house that is not paying rent. How can you speed that process up? It's something I'd love for you guys to talk over and figure out, because, it is a business, and they're there to make money, and if someone's there not paying rent for 6 months, you're losing a lot of money. And it's not like, a mechanic shop that, they just hold your vehicle, and they put a lien on there, or a restaurant, if you don't pay your bill, well, you don't get food the next time you come in because you didn't pay your bill. It's gonna be something else, so I'd like to, if anyone out there that is a renter that would like to be on this.
I'd like to be on it.
Okay, Ms. Kay. And, anybody else on council would like to be on it? So, but yeah, I'd like to find 1 or 2 more renters and to get the public input on that. And so that you guys can sit down and meet a few times, hash over a lot of the different questions and all that come up that get brought up from here quite often. And hopefully that in the future, there'll be less questions up here. It'll all be spelled out a little quicker and easier. And with having a model from Poplar Bluff, hopefully that'll help out. So, all right. Public comments.
First of all, I'd like to volunteer as a former landlord. Be on that committee if I could. Those are some possible ideas. Sure. That's not why I'm here. I'm here representing Friendly Waste Management. We have preached from the beginning that we are a local and want to be all about Kennett, so we thought we should probably start coming to the council meetings, which is the only reason that we're here, but some things that have been said tonight brought me up here. We just moved in to the New Riggs property right down the street. There have been some concerns about the property. We're here to assure you that it's not going to be a transfer station. Regrettably, with the heinous amount of truck trouble that we had for a while, it became that. Victor has addressed it appropriately and well and very gentlemanly like. We're in in the process of having everything stored on the vacant part. The white building will be our office, and then the big Quonset hut will be our building storage. Perhaps we can lock that building up and keep people from vandalizing our vehicles. We just want you to know that we're gonna beautification.
Yeah.
We'll paint, I've actually researched how to paint a Quonset hut.
I have a question on that. What color are you?
Dolphin colors.
Ignore the input from the Dolphins fan, we're just gonna paint it
I thought it was a
silver.
legitimate question.
It is a very legitimate question. It will not be dolphin color, I promise.
I lost that argument too.
Anyway, we'll make Kenneth proud with the way that that's gonna look when we're finished.
Thank
It takes time and money. The other thing that I wanted to say, and I won't go very much into it, I really just need to ask, we have an idea, I think, that can solve a lot of the beautification issue, but we're not sure how to handle it with how to even approach the city about it. But I think we can eliminate all the city's financial responsibilities. I hinted at the recycling meeting to you.
Yeah.
So I'm not ready to share necessarily with the public, but I would like to talk to you guys, finance or certainly the mayor, anybody that I need to talk to, and just present the idea and see how feasible it is. But it basically will eliminate all these costs that you've talked about and sort of pass it on to the community members. So if I can speak with somebody later, if somebody will give me a call, I'll be glad to give you my cell phone, whatever, but I'd like to have a meeting just to see if it's a feasible idea. Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate what y'all do.
And thank you for winning the argument about the paint color.
I lost it with the company colors. I wanted black and gold. And
Whatever.
I ended up with 2 Dolphin fans as partners at the time, so I lost.
Yeah, let's have one, it's on Thursday.
Just have to sit down.
Yeah. Okay. All right, any other public?
I will say, just the answer to the previous question is 4,454.4.
4 months, yeah, I got it, I was gonna bring it up too.
10,000 acres off.
Yeah, there's a couple acres on.
6.96 miles, 640 acres per square mile.
Hey, I got a Google too, sure. That would be, for a crop duster to fly, that'd be $31,000 a time. So we're all getting pretty cheap, even though it's expensive.
Croppers can't hold that much
No,
equipment anyway.
no, but I'm just saying.
I would not want to be the pilot.
The only other thing else that we have tonight would be, received an email, I think, Terry, Marco, Brenda, you guys all received it, also tonight, that, as you know, they're coming to a close on St. Francis project. There's a, performance hearing for closeout will be tentatively scheduled for Thursday, September 5th at 2 p.m. at, City Hall, for the public, and if you have any questions.
Did we get everything resolved on that, as far as the monies and all that?
So far.
We're still on budget, under budget.
Have we paid both of the RFs?
We have the first 2. We have the
Two.
third.
We got the third and last, right?
That'll be coming in September. You can't pay more than 2 in 1 month.
I know that, that's what, we got the 2 paid, so we have the third, and it should be the third and last.
That won't be the last. But we should know here shortly as soon as they're finished.
Yeah, bro.
We need a motion to go
A
into
motion
closed
to, close,
Motion to adjourn.
well, a motion to adjourn and motion to go into closed session.
Motion to adjourn, and do that too.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have to do a roll call.
Roll call, roll.
You want to close session?
Yes.
Short break.
About it on.